People, it's me again, Deluded, with a random vid. It's a very poor day. Excuse me for the background noise and stuff. There's nothing I can control about that. But I was personally sat at the office in my lunch break. Well, it still is my lunch break, but the earlier part of my lunch break. And you lot know me, just can't help making vids around content and young players. Now, there's a certain player, I can't say his last name, but he plays for Dijon. Forgive me for mispronunciations, of course, but he plays for Dijon. His name's Enrique. I've watched a bit of him in France this season. I think he's only made a handful of appearances. I've got the specifics on paper, but he's only made a handful of appearances. And I've been impressed with him, but it's the Under-20s World Cup is really where I like him. He can play central mid, he can play slightly deeper. I don't like to call these things defensive mid, but he can operate at the base. He's not the biggest in terms of stature and physicality, but he's a very good winner of the ball back. He looks to win the ball back quickly. He relishes putting the foot in. He relishes retrieving the ball for his team from the opposition. He's a decent passer as well, especially in tight spaces. He can recycle it well, and I do like him. He's got just because he's not necessarily the biggest or the most robust doesn't mean he's not afraid to put himself around. And I really like him, and I feel he can grow to be someone at Arsenal or somewhere else, man. I think he's only 18, so he's got to stay there and develop and stuff, but he could be a decent player. What has he got? I didn't even write down his appearances. Apologies people, but surely a 10 to 15, probably 20 realistically can do it. Like I said, he's a decent player and he ticks the boxes in being a young player with potential that can develop here or be sold on for more money. You lot know me, I like Nicolas Cozza of Montpellier. I must admit, the only reason I'm really big on possibly signing him is because he can play centre-half as well as full-back. It's debatable where he ends up long-term in that regards. I really like him. I do think recovery and how he recovers when he's going backwards, so like if you imagine if you're a full-back being on the turn, people is what I'm talking about. I do think he struggles a bit with that and can be left flat-footed, and he needs to really improve in terms of being proactive off the ball. But I do like him. He's okay going forward. He's a good tackler. He puts work in for the team. I really do like him. He plays for Montpellier, like I said. Long term, it remains to be seen, at least to my knowledge, if he can be a centre-half or a full-back. But surely on the basis of Enrico, he could be someone to be brought into the club. So they're two players I think should at least be on some sort of shortlist or at least been watched. I'm going to watch them myself, people, of course, next season. You don't know me, I like young players and stuff. So on that note, I'm going to keep it moving, to be fair. Yeah, I'm going to keep it moving. In fact, I was going to do this in another vid, but we might as well do it now. For those that know about Alvarez, the team in Spain, I'm sure you know about Guillermo, is it Maripán? I can never say his name. He's 6 foot plus, he's a decent centre-half, and I only really started knowing about him this season, and I don't know about him religiously, and I'm not sure of his level. I'm not sure if he'll actually be able to improve Arsenal. I know our defenders have been poor, so he should be able to, but I mean, he's been linked with Watford and West Ham. Surely Emery knows about him because he's Spanish and they keep one eye open to La Liga, and we've got scouts in general, we've got Sanye, we've got Caigio now, and obviously Emery and everybody else, so they probably know who he is. He's not the most expensive of passers with a football, but he's okay. Out of 10, I give him a 5, maybe. Yeah, just about. He's okay. He's 6 foot plus, people. He's decent in the air in terms of probably a threat from offensive set pieces, and defending them he's quite decent. He's Chilean, so he's got a lot of the Chilean traits. I think he's tigerish, he's brave, he's not afraid to try and put a block in. I think he reads the game fairly well. So if he reads the game fairly well, he's okay passing, he's got physical height and physical muscle and that. Surely he's someone to look at. Again, people, I'm not the most informed on him, so I'm not sure if he has the level to step up here, but he's made a desire of wanting to play in the Premier League, so it could be an option to look at. And that's all I've got to say, people. And as I said earlier, obviously this was a random vid. Forgive me for any background noises, any moving up and down of the camera and that. Obviously I'm just one man in my lunch break just trying to do some content, but take my umbrella up. On that note, people, Deluded, I'm out. Before anyone gets onto me about my umbrella, this was free, people. I don't know about no one else, but when someone gives you free stuff, you utilize it. So people, DG, I'm out.